Of that pesky ad block.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Matt Jarbo, and holy crap, the internet in my mind right now is losing it. They're losing it left and right, 100%. This Corona lockdown has got a lot of people freaking the hell out and over things that they probably don't need to freak out over, right? Trump is getting ready to declare an illegal quarantine on New York and New Jersey, which could lead to martial law, which is a huge problem. But right now on Twitter, one of the things that's trending apparently is iDubbbz, because he has a girlfriend who happens to sell nudes on the internet. And this has a lot of people really irrationally upset, in my opinion. iDubbbz, Ian, has people upset. The leader of the incels, so to speak. No, that's not true. He's not, but he's got a lot of that audience, and we're going to talk about that here for a second. So generally, people are furious at him. Over 16,000 tweets today as a result of this. People are really mad that he is dating, Annie here, whatever her name is, right? Anisa. She says that she's an aspiring YouTuber and established Twitch streamer, and also now sells her nudes on OnlyFans, which you can get, like I said here, for just a solid $9.99 per month if you're looking for a little bit of that fun, lonely bump and grind with your hand in your pelvis. You can do that. And guess what? iDubbbz is totally okay with it. He's totally fine with it because you know why? He's an adult. He's an adult that is in a relationship with a woman who is choosing to go down the path of sex work. Sex work is something that has been around since the beginning of time. There's a reason why they call prostitution the world's oldest profession. Why? Because you can always find something to sell when it comes to that situation. You can always sell your body. And this is what's going on right now. We're seeing this with the internet time and time again. Women get into selling nudes or selling lewds or things like that. And for the most part, no one ever really seems to care. But why is it that they care when it is Annie here? Why do they care? She's an attractive woman. Shouldn't she be able to go out there and shake what God gave her, right? You know what I mean? Make some money off that one. Now, the reason why I chose this image is, for one, it's a good looking shot of her, but I also came across this particular comment here from a week ago from a guy named Christian Pappas 707 saying, "You don't love Ian. If you did, you wouldn't have guys pay to see your body. P.S. I know you're going to delete this comment, but it's actually, think about how you should change your life for better because it's pretty shit right now and you have no self-worth." Right. So this guy right here, who could probably never in his life get a girl who's as attractive as her. So what does he do? He lashes out. You have no self-value. You don't love your boyfriend. You're a whore. And then people online are turning it to Ian's a simp and Ian's a cuck and all of these things. Here's the thing. Why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? So you can't really call Ian a simp if he is the one who is enjoying it. This is the thing. This is the reality here. It's like dating a stripper. And I know because I've dated a stripper. All the guys that watch her, that get turned on by her, they're upset. They're jealous because they can't go home and fuck her. Ian does. iDubbbz does. They're in a relationship. They're going to bump uglies. They're going to smash pelvises. I'm pretty sure he's going to do things you wouldn't even get on the OnlyFans page. Special private things, adult things. And that is the relationship that they have. And so many people out there, so many of these incels on Twitter are furious at this. So many of these people are furious at iDubbbz for being in this kind of a relationship and talking about it openly, that they are attacking him, that they're trying to cancel him, that they're trying to go out of their way in order to shame him into leaving her or shame her into quitting what she's doing, because apparently Mr. Content Cop is quite frankly too, he's too sacred of a cow to be a human. To be a person. He's too revered on the internet. He's too beloved and too renowned on the internet to even remotely be a person. And that's what this boils down to. Let's be realistic here. There is jealousy behind the anger, right? There's jealousy. It's not that they're mad at Ian because Ian has a girlfriend who sells her nudes. They're mad at Ian because Ian gets to tap that and they only get to pay for it. And I guarantee you this controversy has only made her more money. It's only made her more people dropping at 10 bones a month in order to watch her OnlyFans. You know that, right? This kind of controversy, a trending topic on Twitter for Christ's sake, is definitely the place where they're going to find this type of situation. Look, there's been a weird movement with incels on the internet for quite some time. A lot of these, the involuntarily celibate guys, the ones who feel that they can never get laid, never get a woman, never get anything, never get as much as a peck on the cheek, are the ones who grow bitter and angry, and they attach that bitterness and that angriness to almost in some aspects like the mockery of other people or an entitled behavior. Elliot Rodgers is a very supreme example of that particular behavior. Mr. Supreme Gentleman himself, we all know what happened 6 years ago when he went on a rampage in Santa Barbara, California. We know what happened on that one. And we know that a lot of it had to do with the fact that he could not get a girlfriend, he could not get laid, he could not get anything. And he turned that into anger and frustration because he found groups of people in pickup artist communities on the internet, and they were able to then validate those beliefs of what, no, you're not the problem. You're never the problem. It's them. They don't value you. They value, they value rich people, and they value only attractive men and blah, 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 blah. Never actually making it about the person and having any kind of personal reflection. So then you get someone like iDubbbz. You get someone like Ian who, is very comfortable in his sexuality in this regard. He's comfortable in his sexuality. He's comfortable in his relationship. He's an adult engaged in an adult relationship. And I'm sorry if that bothers you guys. And it's really funny that it bothers you guys because that's basically what this whole thing boils down to. iDubbbz versus incels. Let them fight. And I believe I misspelled iDubbbz. God damn it. But that's where we are right now. We're watching a group of people who are mad at a content creator because, God forbid, he's in a healthy relationship with a woman that he loves, and they have appropriate boundaries. They have different life goals. They support each other, and they work for each other. And isn't that ultimately the best part of having a relationship, is to be comfortable enough to support one another in their personal endeavors and to be there for each other emotionally and physically? Now, the big problem here is a lot of these guys who are probably going off on this. I would bet, and I'm speculating, but I would bet that a lot of them probably really like Jordan Peterson, right? Mr. Wash Your Penis, that guy. And that kind of Christian-based celebratory behavior in how it masks itself as being, self-help adjacent, when really it's just pushing religion down very lonely and vulnerable men's throats as a way to confuse them further and make them deny, their own personal urges and their own personal desires. And then also you get the crazier side of that pushes for it's everyone's fault but you. And that's not personal responsibility. That's not personal accountability. Now, granted, this video won't make me any friends because if I'm criticizing Jordan Peterson, my God, that army's going to show up. But I'm being realistic here. What iDubbbz is exhibiting in his relationship is a mature adult relationship. These are people, she's not cheating on him. She's not cheating on him. They're together, and they both agree to it. They both agree to this scenario, and that's where they are. And there's nothing wrong with that. So why is it a big deal for these people? Because a lot of them are jealous. A lot of them are jealous. This is one of the problems that happens in friendships, right? Like, or, when like you got one guy in a relationship or one guy gets something above somebody else and there's a jealousy factor. In this regard, it's the jealousy factor. It really is. It really is. People on YouTube, viewers of content, will sometimes grow extremely attached to a creator. And in the view of iDubbbz being the content cop himself, Mr. I get 3 million views for reviewing peanuts sort of thing, there is a level of love there. There is a level of adoration there. There's a level of complete obsession there with some people. They love him. They love his content. They flock to it every time a new video drops. He doesn't have to worry about getting views. This audience will be there. And they feel like they're part of his life. And they do. They feel like they're part of his life because he opens up a part of his life to them that they can attach themselves to. This is something that is wholly different, completely different than anything else that they're ever used to. And as a result, it's triggering them in a way that's causing them to want to cancel him and to call him a simp and call him a cuck, when all things considered, he's absolutely, positively none of those things. Mature adult in a mature adult relationship making mature adult decisions. And the children are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, screaming that the sky is falling and that their hero has fallen himself. Just admit what you want. You don't want Ian talking about his life. You don't want this, and this is not new information, by the way. Like Anisa's got a Reddit that has been active for a while with about 2,000 people in there, and they've been talking about this now for months. So why is this freaking out now? It's because Ian himself responded to it. That's what's going on here. And it's sad. It's really sad that a content creator who's in a mature adult relationship that has no impact and no basis on the work that he does on YouTube is now having to defend that relationship against people who will probably never, ever, ever be in a relationship like that, or people who will never actually be with anyone that they deem attractive enough because they're so deathly afraid of them. It does, in my mind, fall back on a whole fatherlessness problem in our country, and how that has somewhat altered and warped our society. Never mind hero worship and celebrity worship and that whole cult of personality that comes out of that thing. And what we're seeing here are a bunch of dudes who are upset that Ian is in a relationship that is completely foreign to them. And what is our base core instinct for something that we don't understand? We want to destroy it. So instead of taking the time to understand that sex work has been around since forever, it is the world's oldest profession, and it's something that should absolutely be fundamentally legalized, regulated, and taxed because it happens anyway. And if doing it in a safer environment, which is one of the reasons why OnlyFans does as well as it does, because it is done in a safer environment. This is something that should be applauded, in my opinion. Now, it's their decisions. They are adults. You don't have to like it, but the lengths some of you are going to freak the hell out about it are just hysterical. And so at the end, I'll leave you with the end of Ian's own video, where he summarizes it better than I think anyone really can.
That pretty much wraps up this video. I love my girlfriend, and I'm totally fine with dudes jacking off to pictures of her on the internet. Doesn't affect me one way or the other. If you are upset by me admitting this, then I suggest you go idolize someone else. Someone who isn't a simp or a cuck. Someone who maybe just gives shitty opinions instead.